What was it like being around DMX?
DMX was dangerous, man.
Straight up like that. Whoever don't like it, bring it, nigga. Bring it. I don't. Bring it. Bring it.
In Los Angeles, street gangs like the LA Crips are known for demanding that rappers check in when they enter the city, a power move that often leads to tense confrontations. But when they tried that with DMX, they quickly discovered his reputation wasn't just hype. He wasn't intimidated, and what followed proved that his presence was as dangerous and fearless as the stories claimed.
And nobody in this nigga crew running behind him to stop this nigga. So I'm like, whoever this nigga is, he official. They ain't want no smoke with this nigga.
ChatGPT said, "Remember, this is DMX we're talking about. The same raw, aggressive, and unpredictable force who'd been to prison so many times, it practically became a second home. He didn't flinch under pressure, and he definitely wasn't about to bow to anyone's demands, not even from LA's most feared street gang."
But what was it like being around DMX?
DMX was dangerous, man. When you around him, he's like, you don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Very unpredictable.
For years now, gangs extorting rappers has become almost a normalized part of the industry. They even gave it a name, checking in. Just listen to Big U, one of the most notorious enforcers of this so-called system. Currently behind bars, he made it crystal clear. For rappers moving through certain cities, checking in isn't optional, it's mandatory. This isn't about respect, it's about control. And for artists who refuse to play by those rules, the consequences can be serious.
We in LA, when I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago. Wholeheartedly, I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry.
Big U even tried to justify the check-in system with an analogy, comparing it to military airspace politics. He said you can't just fly through certain zones without clearance, and the streets work the same way. In his eyes, rappers entering a city without permission are violating territory, and that kind of move doesn't go unnoticed.
The United States of America and all these countries have what is called airspace. If you invade their airspace with a plane, they consider that an act of war. You can choose not to, and it's gonna be a problem. If dudes come and you move it in a certain way, if you choose not to check in, suffer the consequences.
But honestly, a lot of people see this as ridiculous because the truth is, these gangs only ask black celebrities and rappers to check in. It's like they're gatekeeping their own community, which is wild DMX. But if there's one person you really couldn't pull that kind of move on, it was DMX. Trying to force him to check in. Yeah, that was probably a big mistake. DMX was a different breed. Wild, raw, and absolutely fearless. Fat Joe even told this crazy story once. He, DMX and Big Pun had just fit a show and stopped at a gas station. Out of nowhere, a guy walked in wearing a chain and DMX straight up robbed the dude right there in the gas station. That's the kind of energy he was on.
We had a show, me, him, and Big Pun in Brooklyn. And after the show, we stopped at the gas station. Meanwhile, the whole crowd was just going, stop, shut him down, open up, chop, ho. Like, DMX was crazy.
And then there's Aries Spears' story. According to Aries, he was at an event promoting his comedy CD, making the rounds and asking celebrities for endorsements. When he approached DMX, things didn't go as planned. DMX wasn't amused, especially by the impressions Aries had done of him in the past. What started as a simple ask quickly turned tense, reminding everyone that DMX didn't take kindly to being mocked, even in the name of comedy.
And at this time, I had my comedy CD, and I did a bunch of skits where I did prank phone calls as rappers. And I saw Busta Rhymes, I saw this person, that person, so I put them on camera saying, yo, you gotta cop my man Aries Spears shit, blah, 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 all good. I see DMX, and Yo, X, he goes, Doug, I need to holler at you.
So DMX told Aries they needed to talk and led him into a nearby locker room. But things took a turn. Suddenly, almost 30 guys followed them in, forming a tight circle around Aries and DMX. Then, without a word, one of the bodyguards slammed the door shut and planted himself in front of it. The message was clear. This wasn't just a conversation. It was a warning.
We go into the locker room, and there's one entrance in and one entrance out. So me and him go in there, and about 27 niggas follow suit. And they make a circle around us. So it's just me and X in the middle. And then the bodyguard comes in and then slams the door where you could leave and stands in front of it.
DMX started pressing Aries about the impression, his tone serious and intense. Aries, caught off guard, tried to explain that it was all in fun, never meant as disrespect. He told DMX it was just comedy, not a personal attack. But in that moment, it was clear that DMX didn't see it that way.
When he was like, Dog, I heard you, my voice, huh? Heard you doing some things with my voice. It was good. I said, oh, no, it's all complimentary, ain't nothing crazy. I'm not disrespecting you or nothing like that.
Then Aries, trying to smooth things over, shifted back into promo mode and pitched his CD, just like he had with the other celebs. But DMX wasn't letting it slide that easily. He looked at Aries and said, "Come to my hotel later. Let me hear it. If it's good, cool. If it's not." And then he growled, that signature DMX growl that said everything without needing more words. The tension was real, and Aries knew it.
But like everybody else, can I get you on camera endorsing my shit? He was like, Doug, I tell you what, come to my hotel tomorrow, let me hear it. If it's good, yeah. If it's not,
According to Aries, what really shook him wasn't just the growl, it was what came next. Right after DMX delivered that chilling line, he casually pulled a razor blade from under his tongue. That move made it crystal clear. DMX wasn't bluffing, and he definitely wasn't someone to play with.
And what really fucked me up was after he went, this nigga pulled a razor blade out from under his tongue.
Oh.
I've been black my whole life. I'm not that black. the gift that you have to be able to put a razor blade in your mouth, talk, move your mouth, your tongue, and you don't cut yourself?
According to Aries, after witnessing all that, the circle of guys, the growl, and especially the razor blade, he didn't even think twice about showing up at the hotel. He knew better. That CD pitch was done, and so was he.
And when he, between the razor blade and the come back tomorrow, I never saw that.
You never went to that hotel room. Nah.
Jay Farrowo has his own wild DMX story. He recalled being on stage performing with DMX, who was so amped up, throwing fists in the air, hyping the crowd, that in the middle of all that energy, DMX accidentally clocked Jay right in the face. It wasn't intentional, just pure, unfiltered X in his zone. But Jay said it best. When DMX was performing, you had to stay alert because anything could happen.
So we on stage, right? And we doing Party Up and we killing it, you know what I'm saying? DMX accidentally snuffs me. That's some real shit. I was like, wow, this nigga's knuckles is hard as a motherfucker.
DMX accidentally.
He accidentally snuffed me.
How?
Is he just
going
No, look. Like, 1, 2, now. He hit me outside. I was like, God dang.
Then there's the time DMX had rappers literally running for their lives. Memphis Bleak shared a story about a day when the Bad Boy Records crew was chilling on a beach in Miami. Mace rolled up casually on a scooter, but the second DMX spotted him, he took off in full sprint, chasing Mace down like it was personal. Bleak, who had never seen DMX in person before, was stunned. All he could think was, yo, this dude is different.
Yo, get back here. Wait till I catch you, nigga. So, you know me, I'm in the back seat like, what happened between him and Mace? Like, who is this nigga? And nobody in this nigga crew running behind him to stop this nigga. So I'm like, whoever this nigga is, he official. They ain't want no smoke with this nigga.
DMX didn't fear anyone, and he definitely didn't show respect just because someone was gang-affiliated. That fearless attitude carried straight into his beef with Kurupt, a respected West Coast rapper and known member of the Crips. Kurupt was managed by none other than Big U, a major figure in the rolling 60s. But even with all that weight behind him, DMX didn't flinch. He wasn't interested in politics or power moves. He was all bark and bite, and if there was smoke, he wasn't backing down.
Not even a rebirth. He's finna give you back what he always been. A beast on the mic with the vocals that can't nobody touch. He gonna make you go get the dictionary to understand every word he just spit too.
But DMX didn't care about any of that. In fact, things got so serious that Kurupt ended up being the target of a hit that left 2 of his bodyguards dead, and Kurupt barely escaped with his life. Rumors quickly started circulating that DMX might have been behind it, and considering his wild reputation, a lot of people believed it. Let's take it back to the early 1990s. At the time, DMX was the undisputed underground king of the New York rap scene, while Kurupt was just starting to make a name for himself on the West Coast. In 1992, when he was only 19, Kurupt and his close friend Daz Dillinger signed with Death Row Records. Together they formed the Dog Pound with Kurupt, repping the rolling 60s Crips, and Daz repping the rolling 20s, Crips from Long Beach, California. Not long after the Dog Pound expanded into a larger crew known as the Dog Pound Gangster Clique, which included heavyweights like Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, and RBX. The crew first hit the scene in a major way when their appearances on Dr. Dre's classic 1992 album, The Chronic. They continued making waves in 1993, playing a big part in Snoop Dogg's legendary debut album, Doggy Style Kurupt, and Daz appeared on several tracks and skits, solidifying their place as a key part of Death Row's success. By 1994, the Dog Pound was ready to step into the spotlight themselves. They kicked off the rollout for their debut album Dog Food with a single, What Would You Do? The track was a hit and even earned a Grammy nomination in 1996 for Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group.
Have you ever heard of a slaughter? I ought to start dipping, sipping on that ST gets me to tripping.
When Dog Food dropped on October 31st, 1995, it exploded onto the scene, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200 and selling over 270,000 copies in its first week. The album's success officially cemented The Dog Pound as one of the hottest duos in hip-hop. By 1996, Kurupt's personal life was just as lit. He began dating Brooklyn rapper Foxy Brown, and by 1997, the two were engaged. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, a storm was brewing. DMX was beginning his meteoric rise. After signing with Def Jam, he released his debut single, Get At Me Dog, in February 1998. The track hit hard, peaking at number 39 on the Billboard charts, and left no doubt. DMX was here, and he was a force nobody could ignore.
Don't know by now, then you slipping. I'm on some bullshit that's got me jacking niggas flipping. Let my man in them stay pretty.
As DMX's star continued to rise, the drama surrounding him did too. The alleged love triangle between him, Foxy Brown, and Kurupt became one of the most talked about rumors in hip-hop at the time. Kurupt, already under pressure from the West Coast-East Coast rivalry, was now dealing with betrayal rumors at home. DMX never publicly addressed the allegations in detail, but the whispers were enough to strain relationships all around. Foxy stood firm, saying DMX never crossed the line, while calling Eve out for sparking unnecessary beef. Whether it was jealousy, misunderstanding, or truth twisted by gossip, the situation added a new layer of tension between two rising empires, Rough Riders and Death Row's affiliates.
I don't like Eve. I don't like her. It has nothing to do with music. It's something that she did that was very disrespectful.
The timing of the rumors only made things worse. both Foxy Brown and DMX were signed to Def Jam and spent the summer of 1998 touring together on the Survival of the Illest tour, which only added fuel to the gossip. Then, in December of that same year, DMX dropped his second album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and it was another instant classic. But one track in particular, Bring Your Whole Crew, raised eyebrows and sparked speculation. In it, DMX raps about being out for blood, references Crips being at war, an obvious nod since Kurupt was a known affiliate, and throws out aggressive lines about someone's lips being on the floor and calling them a fake pit. Fans couldn't help but connect the dots, thinking these were subliminal shots aimed squarely at Kurupt, especially with the dog reference that tied into Thaw Dog Pound and Kurupt's pitbull persona. The lyrics sounded like more than just general bravado. DMX talked about choking and killing someone, which many interpreted as a serious warning for Kurupt to fall back. While nothing was officially confirmed, the context made it hard to believe it was all coincidence. By early 1999, things boiled over. Kurupt got wind that DMX had been spending time with Foxy Brown behind his back, and the tension exploded. Then on January 26, 1999, Foxy dropped her album China Doll, featuring the track Dog and a Fox with DMX. The collab confirmed what many had suspected. DMX and Foxy were definitely close. What made matters worse? Kurupt claimed that he was supposed to be on that track with Foxy, not DMX. If that's true, the song wasn't just a hit record. It was a personal betrayal that added fuel to a fire already burning out of control.
So was you and X issue actually over her?
Totally.
Oh, so X was messing with her when y'all together?
Totally. Then she took one of my concepts. We was gonna make a record called The Dog and the Fox.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then she went and did it with Earl.
While Kurupt was busy working on his second album, Thaw Streets Is Amutha, he decided it was time to address the DMX-Foxy Brown drama head-on. The result was a fiery diss track titled Calling Out Names, aimed at multiple targets, including DMX, 50 Cent, and Ja Rule. Even before the album's official release, the track leaked and immediately stirred controversy. In the very first verse, Kurupt comes straight for DMX, calling him a motherfin D motherfer, and making it clear that the only X he respects is either Xzibit or RBX. He accuses DMX of trying to steal his fiancée, Foxy Brown, but dismissively says DMX can have her, claiming they both sold out for the money. The track doesn't hold back. Kurupt warns that if DMX ever steps foot on the West Coast, he'll be stripped and beaten, all over what he calls a female. He even boasts about moving on to a new woman because his old one tweaked, a not-so-subtle jab at Foxy and the chaos she brought with her. In the second verse, Kurupt takes aim at the entire Rough Riders crew. The only exception? Eve. He specifically shouts her out, which lined up with Foxy Brown's claim that Eve was the one who spilled the beans to Kurupt about her and DMX. Kurupt's diss goes further. He hurls insults at the firm, the group Foxy was a part of, led by Nas, and takes a swipe at Belly, the 1998 cult classic film starring DMX and Nas. He drops line after line of venom, mocking everything from their reputations to their affiliations, and even parodies DMX's iconic "Get at me, dog" catchphrase in a sarcastic, mocking tone. On the original version of the track, he didn't waste any time, opening up by taunting DMX from the jump. But things took a dark and deadly turn not long after Calling Out Names dropped. On October 17, 1999, just before midnight, Kurupt was at Echo Sound Studios in L.A., working on Thaw Streets Is Amutha, when gunshots rang out. His bodyguard, Dwayne Dree, was killed after taking multiple shots to the chest. Two other men, rappers, Willard Givers and Jevin Jones, were also shot in the leg and foot. Almost instantly, rumors started swirling that DMX may have had something to do with it, given the recent diss and rising tension. But DMX's camp shut that talk down quickly. A spokesperson stated, "DMX is in Miami recording his album," adding that he had no knowledge of the shooting. DMX himself denied any involvement, distancing himself from the violent fallout. Still, the incident marked a chilling peak in what had started as a war of words and ended in real bloodshed.
Corrupt. He killed two of his bodyguards. They're trying to kill him. Killed two of his bodyguards. They blame it on me because he made a song about me. Even though nobody really heard the song. You know, being that he made a song about me, I had to be the one doing it. I'm not pissed off at a whack.
But even though DMX denied any involvement in the Echo Sound studio shooting, the rumors didn't just disappear. His intense reputation and fiery temper kept the whispers alive in hip-hop circles. Then, on November 16, 1999, just a month after the shooting, Corrupt released Tha Streets Is a Mutha. As expected, the album included the now infamous diss track Calling Out Names, packed with shots at DMX, Foxy Brown, and others. But Corrupt wasn't done throwing shade. On another track from the album, Who Ride With Us, he turned the beef into a full-on mockery. At the end of the song, there's a skit where Corrupt is flipping through fictional radio stations, and one of them plays a parody of DMX, complete with someone doing an exaggerated imitation of his signature growl and voice. It was a bold and petty move, clearly meant to clown DMX and keep the feud alive in the most public way possible.
Blood! If I bleed, it's blood. Who I am, who I be, till I die.
Not one to stay silent, DMX came back swinging. On December 21, 1999, he dropped his third studio album, And Then There Was X, featuring one of his most explosive and iconic tracks, Party Up, Up in Here. While most people know it as a wild, high-energy club anthem, many fans and insiders saw it as something more, a calculated diss aimed straight at Corrupt. From the very first bar, DMX sets the tone. Y'all gon' make me lose my mind, up in here, up in here. But, beneath the party vibe, the lyrics cut deep. He threatens fake gangsters and throws jabs that sound like thinly veiled shots at Corrupt and his crew, warning they could get dealt with fast over dumb drama. One particular line about a gun clicking and chaos breaking out had fans connecting the dots. Some believed it was a chilling reference to the Echo Sound studio shooting just 2 months earlier. Whether or not it was intentional, DMX had clearly made his point. He wasn't backing down from anyone.
Alright, all your mans have been to jail before, suck my dick, and all the motherfuckers you run with, get done with, dumb quick, they go to gun click, 911 shit, all over some dumb shit, ain't that some shit?
The second verse of Party Up takes things to an even more personal level. DMX turns up the heat, calling out rappers as nothing more than characters, fake personas, and adds that they're not even convincing ones, which many fans took as a direct shot at Corrupt. He doesn't stop there. DMX continues to tear into his target, calling them whack, twisted, and clearly crossing into personal territory. He even throws Foxy Brown into the mix, referring to her as a hoe, a line many interpreted as him taunting Corrupt over their messy love triangle. At this point, the track isn't just a warning, it's a declaration of war, raw and unapologetic.
Good actors, what's gonna be the outcome? It's out of all the factors. You whack, you twisted, your girl's a hoe.
DMX also vents his frustration over men beefing over women who, in his eyes, don't even belong to them. A clear jab at Corrupt and the entire Foxy Brown situation. In the third verse, he takes the aggression to another level, warning that he's going to silence someone permanently. You keep running your mouth, you gon' blow your lung out. The threat is raw, and it doesn't stop there. DMX even hints at making someone disappear entirely. These bars only added fuel to the fire, intensifying the rumors that he may have been connected to the Echo Studios shooting, despite his public denials.
I'ma blow his lung out. Listen, your ass is about to be missing. You know who gon' find you? Some old man fishing.
What made Party Up such a brutal response wasn't just the savage lyrics. It was the song's massive success. It became a global anthem, dominating clubs, blasting on the radio, and featuring in movies. For Kurupt, hearing DMX mock him on a worldwide stage had to be humiliating. DMX didn't need to drop multiple diss tracks, he simply made a hit that drowned out all the noise. Fast forward to January 17, 2000. DMX appeared at the American Music Awards at the legendary Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. While speaking, in the press room, reporters naturally brought up his beef with Kurupt, but DMX played it cool, claiming there was no real issue between them.
Two questions. How are you dealing with the conflict with Kurupt?
All right. First of all, there is no conflict with Kurupt. You know, so I'm not dealing with anything.
It was a surprising response, to say the least. Party Up had lines many interpreted as direct jabs at Kurupt, and the tension between the two had been a hot topic in the industry. So why the sudden downplay? Some believe DMX was brushing Kurupt off, refusing to give him any more clout. Others speculated it was a strategic move to distance himself from the swirling rumors about the Echo Studios shooting. Meanwhile, Kurupt kept a low profile. Despite Party Up becoming a massive hit, he didn't clap back with another diss. Instead, he took a different route. On July 17, 2001, he released Space Boogie, Smoke Odyssey, and on the track Just Don't Give a F, Kurupt signaled he was open to letting the beef die. But that wasn't the end. On August 23, 2005, Kurupt dropped Against the Grain, and the track Speak on It subtly reignited old flames. In it, he pushed back against comparisons between rappers like 50 Cent, Ja Rule, and DMX to Tupac, firmly stating there would never be another, and making it clear DMX wasn't it either.
Ain't no new motherfucking Tupac, nigga. DMX ain't the new Tupac.
After that, the feud between DMX and Kurupt gradually faded into the background. Years passed, and the once explosive tension between them became a distant memory in hip-hop history. Then in 2017, nearly 2 decades after their beef first erupted, something unexpected happened. Kurupt and DMX ran into each other at an airport. According to Kurupt, the encounter was surprisingly warm. There were no harsh words, no tension, just mutual respect. In that moment, the two artists finally buried the hatchet, proving that even in an industry fueled by egos and rivalries, peace is always possible.